today's been the showcase, sort of a endpoint, celebratory aspect of the accelerator. What have you got produced, insights? What's coming out of your thinking from it?
Oof, many things, which is really interesting. So we're really looking forward to share some of the insights that we gain in the project to other firms as well. I think one of the key elements that we have got after working with the firms is um, the focus on how to evaluate and measure and succeed. I think understanding what is key before you start with the adoption journey is crucial. We have developed an instrument like a matrix for tracking the adoption journey, which can be something that helps small firms or firms that are just starting with the process to understand what is needed or where they are, and to keep doing that to understand like how much they evolved. Um, we have done some really great work in trust in AI. Um, and then we actually been chosen to present that work in academic conference as well. So it just not only have the industry value, but also some academic value. Um, and we keep doing things around other topics as well. I don't want to try anything else. Right?
Yeah, I think one of the important things is also to understand that adoption is a journey, and it's not just a one-time event. You adopt the technology and everyone's going to use it naturally.
Yeah.
I think another element that comes in with this whole discussion around the adoption journey is the human focus. So the technology evolves either way. There's going to be rapid changes, but it's about bringing the human side into it and bringing the human on board. And when we were starting to look into what success means and how the companies understand and evaluate success, a lot of the metrics they looked at were around the human factor. So how's the staff feeling? How's the learning experience of the staff? And how's the culture change taking place? Are they comfortable with the technology? So bringing really the different members of staff on board, because if they're not comfortable to use it, then yeah, the technology will not be probably implemented.
Yeah, I think Tim as well. We did a part as well in business model. I think the friends also have to be creative in the way that they approach the challenge. So we got one of the firms, if you want to talk more about that, the one that's done about the service design. That's that really different approach as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, all firms are different and they're going to approach this challenge in a different way. And I think for me, one of the things that we're trying to do is to make them think more creatively about the challenge they face. They need to understand what the problem is they're trying to solve. And I think that increasingly we've seen the firms that we've been working with distill down what that problem is. And then it's about trying to think about what the solutions look like. And the solution and the challenge in implementing that solution is often not the technology. It's thinking about whether it is the skills, whether it is the resource that's in this, how it affects the way that the business works, how it affects the identity of the professional, whether that be the lawyer or the accountant, but also how it affects what the client perceives of the business. And I think that when there's so many moving parts like this, you need to understand what they are. So as well as the kind of the research piece, that throughout the project, we've been trying to develop tools to benchmark progress, to understand where that journey is and how it's changing, and also what needs to happen next. Because I think that from one of the big takeaways for me on this is people seem much more comfortable to start with in thinking about the business of law or the business of accounting as the area to try and implement tech.
Sort of on the operational side.
Absolutely, yeah, where that sits. But then what we begin to see is where there have been successes in those areas, then they become more willing to experiment, to think about what that looks like in particular practice areas in the practice of law or the practice of accounting. So by doing that, I think it's about trying to build confidence. It's about building capability in the firm. And so the research has helped us understand and unpack that. And then what we've tried to do is to develop tools that the firms can then use themselves to assess it. Because as researchers, we're not going to be in the firm forever, but the firm's journey when it comes to tech adoption is going to continue. So it's really trying to think about how we can help them to help themselves. And again, that's the product of that action research.